Today we are here with President Kennedy and Andrei Gromyko, the Soviet ambassador.
President Kennedy, we give Cuba weaponry for defensive reasons only.
Okay, I got you. But if we find offensive weaponry, the gravest issue will be at hand.
Alright. We concur to your demands.
All right, my most intelligent and trusted advisors. We have a crisis in our hands and we must discuss. What are your ideas?
Well, Mr. President, I believe that diplomatic approach with the Soviet Union and Cuba is necessary. We need to diplomatically ask them to remove their missiles, because I feel if we threaten them in any other way, they might take it as a nuclear threat, and that would be detrimental to our country's safety.
It's a bad idea. We gotta nuke Cuba when we have the chance. If we don't do it, the Soviets will think that they have spotted our weakness. We gotta hurt them and give them a good warning.
Mister? That was a very good idea, sir. I say we quarantine Cuba. Any new ideas?
I think that's a great idea. What about you?
Whatever you say, Mr. President.
All right.
Mr. President. General?
Thank you, sir.
Ah, that's some good crystal champagne.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Now, all right, General Sweeney. We need to discuss the plans about your Air Force and see if they can execute the bombing of Cuba.
Look, Mr. President, from my point of view, I think it is absolutely outrageous for me to guarantee me and my men destroying 100% of the missiles in Cuba, and that would actually be harmful on our part. So, I strongly advise against this.
All right, I agree.
Sir.
Okay, President Eisenhower,
Yes, sir.
President Truman,
Yes, sir.
President Hoover.
Yes, sir.
All right, I think that we should establish the Executive Committee of National Security Council and instruct it to meet daily for the Cuban Missile Crisis.
All right, President Kennedy.
I agree with you, Mr. President. That's a
Sir.
good step.
All right, guys.
Breaking news. President Kennedy just signed Proclamation 3504. Now, this proclamation allows the United States ships to quarantine Cuba.
All right, our President Kennedy demands the Soviet Union to return their missiles back.
We don't listen to your president's command. We only listen to Khrushchev's command.
All right, then.
Kennedy, I, Nikita Khrushchev, speaking for the Soviet Union, do not want to comply with your demands as we feel it is a threat to our country.
All right, I feel the same way, but all I want is a peaceful resolution.
All right, I mean, after all, communism and capitalism can live in the same world, right?
Yes.
Bro fist. Yeah.
Alright, the US has had enough of this Cuban Missile Crisis and we cannot handle it no more. What are your results, Nikita Khrushchev?
You know what? President Kennedy, I think you're right. I've lost a little bit of hair. These 13 days have felt like 13 years. Yeah, a lot of stress. And for you, you're a young man yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright, can I have the documents for the peace?
Alright,
thank you.
There you go, Mr. President.
Alright. Alright, peace has been solved.
This is Jiffy News, bringing you to live action. Now, after tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union have subsided, we go to a Cuban civilian to hear his thoughts. What are your thoughts, Cuban civilian?
I honestly don't really think this was such a big deal. I mean, we could just all get along and it'll be over, and we could take a few good hits in the middle. I mean, that's all life is about, right?
Sir, I hear you. Loud and clear.
Yeah.
This is Team Jiffy reporting you like a flash.